All right, folks, you can't see it, but we're wearing shorts. We're in Miami. Raptors in the heat tonight at American Airlines Arena. Terrific win last night for Toronto. Another huge task tonight. Let's see if they're up to the challenge. Back-to-backs are tough, but this one even that much more difficult, knowing what Miami has done the last couple of games, having lost the last two at home to Boston and Utah.
Well, that's the biggest thing right there. As much as the back-to-back is going to be hard enough for the Raptors, the fact that they're catching a Miami team that is clearly underperformed to this point at 5-4, and all the Wolves are circling right now in terms of Eric Spoelstra and what might happen with this team. You're hearing columnists and writers now start speculating about whether or not the Heat should shake up the team via a deal. Put Chris Bosh on the block. He's not the right fit, whatever. Easy. It's 9 games. It's 2.5 weeks into the season, but it's still clear at the same time that this is a big game for the Heat. You certainly don't want to fall to 500 this early in the season if you're the Miami Heat. They need this game. They need to reestablish themselves. And I think even this team, in spite of 5-4, and I know they've got the superstar talent and everything else, I think there's a confidence factor for them, Jonesy. As much as we talk about the Raptors getting a win and getting confidence, this Heat team, they might not admit it to the media or in public, but I'm sure in a lot of those guys' minds, they're probably thinking, what the heck is going on here? We got to get this win, and we certainly can't afford to drop one to a 2-7 team, whether they're coming off a big win last night or not.
Well, Spoelstra's a guy that's talked about shaking up the lineup. Well, that leaves only 2 guys, Joel Anthony or Carlos Arroyo, because you're not going to bench Bosh, Wade, or James, and it'll be interesting to see what he does and how it is going forward, because I'm sure they full well expect to beat Toronto tonight, but it's the big boys that they're having trouble with. I mean, look who they've lost to. Utah, Boston twice. If they're considering themselves a championship team, those are the teams they have to take dead aim at and try to measure themselves against the upper echelon, high-rent district squads.
I wonder if this is a game where if Spoelstra is going to do something, maybe he opts to try and make a change for this game, considering Toronto, without a traditional big man, maybe you do start a guy like Udonis Haslem alongside Bosh. Bosh plays in the middle, Haslem plays in the middle. It doesn't matter as you're going sort of undersized against the athleticism of the 7-footer Bargnani, and obviously an undersized power forward in Reggie Evans, who's been great on the glass, but this might be a good matchup for Spoelstra to at least try it without that big bruising big man in the middle.
And Eric, it's interesting. I think the one lineup that has worked for Miami so far is having Bosh at the 5 and allowing Udonis Haslem to deal with some of the bruisers like Okafor and Millsap and people like that, because I think they're a bit too physical for Bosh. That being said, isn't that what Chris was running from in Toronto? Not wanting to play 5, getting out of the middle, he comes to Miami. I think that might eventually be their best lineup. Now, we'll have to see how some of these other guys come along, how Joel Anthony comes along, if Jamal McGlure gets any time, if they actually do go out and sign Eric Dampier. All those things remain to be seen, but Chris was trying to get away from something, and he might have come full circle right back into it.
As for the Raptors, there's no real update or word on the injured bodies, the banged up bodies, because on the back-to-back, no game day shoot around today, which is normally the case. So we don't have a status update for you on Linus Kleza. Barbosa won't play, as we told you yesterday. He's back in Toronto, likely won't join the team at all for this 4-game trip, so don't expect to see him in Washington or Philadelphia either. As for David Anderson, still dealing with the flu symptoms and everything else last night. Game time decision for tonight. I would hazard to guess probably doesn't play, but we'll see what actually happens. And based on the fact that he played last night, I'd be shocked if you don't see Reggie Evans and Jarrett Jack both on the floor tonight for Toronto. So that's pretty much taking care of things for the Raptors side of things. And we got to mention quickly, we haven't done so yet in a vlog, but seeing as I've got the t-shirt on today with all the various mustaches, Movember, look at Jonesy, it's coming in here.
I took all the heat from you folks. Oh, do it, Jonesy, do it. I'm not seeing the love. I got no no, I shouldn't say that. I have very few, very limited sponsors.
Sponsor Jonesy.
Let's go.
Sponsor me. Movember, we've still got another, 15, 18
half the
days.
month.
Come on, look at this thing. I think he'll keep it afterwards too. A little dirt on the chin.
You got to sponsor me because it's got to pay for my divorce when I get rid of this.
The motorcycle going by, I guess that means that my ride is ready. The valet's pulled around. I've got the stash to match the cycle, the wheels. I'm going now. We're on the air tonight at 7 o'clock. Pre-game at 7, and then the tip-off just after 7:30.
All right, folks, well, you'll hear from us then at American Airlines Arena.